I'm gonna talk about something Discord people or something. I don't know. I'm so upset because I love this Pokemon so much, and I love this idea of the implementation. I just hate the way it's being implemented.
You're like if we had to design a meme for this moment, it's that scene from Spider-Man, and the subway is like my distaste and hatred for Pokemon Go mechanics, and Spider-Man holding it back is my love for Applin. Like,
yeah, that's this event. If this was any other Pokemon, I would just hammer endlessly, but like it's Applin.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
Tinkaton hammers it home during a celebration event.
Some sweet discoveries will truly be the Applin of your eye with an exciting debut event. And more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 321. It's April 17th, a Thursday afternoon. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, just okay, huh?
I mean, I'm tired today, but like it's not that bad. So
no, yeah, but we talked about this on Thursdays. We get tired, Kyle, which is different than the tired Kyle that we usually get on Tuesdays, because you're just sleepy by the end of the day at that point. This is a different kind of tired. You know what I mean?
This is like I've done all the things I need to do for the day and now don't want to do anything.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling that in a big way, in a big way. But we got this. We got to talk about Pokemon Go because we missed last week. Last week was not good. It was not good logistically whatsoever. My folks were out of town, so I was taking care of the dog, and that dog, I love him. I do. Mm-hmm. It's a very good boy, but he makes a lot of noise. And if you're not in the room with him, he makes a lot more noise because he's got a lot of anxiety. So it was not conducive to a recording environment. So Kyle and I pushed it back, and then time just did not work out. So apologize, gang, but we are here, and we will get you caught up. Thankfully, the event that's happening right now that started on this Thursday, those usually end like on the Sunday or whatever. This one actually goes through the weekend until Tuesday, so we can still cover it without having missed it, which is great. I think the only thing we didn't get to cover, the only piece of news we didn't get to cover for an event that is now passed, was the the fighting event raid day that happened on Sunday with like Hariyama and something else. I didn't even care enough to participate. I think there was a good move, like upper hand or something like that was really good on whatever the feature Pokemon was. I saw Mega Heracross raids come in. I did a couple of those. That was cool, but whatever. I was out of the loop last week. We're back in the loop this week.
And boy, what a loop.
Yeah, what a loop indeed. We got some interesting stuff to cover. I'm very excited to get to some of these topics. But Mr. Kyle, let's talk about really quick the goals that we set 2 weeks ago and our success or lack thereof to those goals. I'm going to go first. I wanted to catch all new Tauros. I made a tactical error with this goal because I was under the impression that we would get the Aqua and the Blaze breed Tauros, which I got several of each of those. So if you sent me the Blaze Tauros from the other side of the world, thank you so much for the invites. I really appreciate it. But the combat breed is, I believe, only in Spain, and I didn't get any of that because I didn't.
Ooh.
I just didn't think about that being more difficult than it was. So I feel successful, but technically did not have success in my goal. So that's a miss, unfortunately. And then I wanted to do many mega Audino raids because I was going to be in the city for an unrelated thing on that Saturday. And I was like, I'm here. I might as well do it. It'll be in the city. It'll be great. And you know what I did instead, Kyle? Mm-hmm. I walked around the city in the morning. And then I went to the Field Museum for the rest of the day.
Okay.
And I did maybe 5 or 6 mega Audino raids. 3 of those were remotes. 2 of them I did in the city. And I am okay with this. I already had a hundo put aside. I made that my mega. Yeah, and it's like whatever. It's completely fine. So no, I didn't even get a shiny one, but that's fine. I didn't do many. I just did some. So I'm going to put that up as a failure again.
Did you have a shiny before?
Yeah, I've had like 4, 3 or 4.
I mean, it's been featured, so I was just curious.
It's been featured and it's been in 10K eggs for a long time. So I've been hatching that. 100 eggs hatched. I fell a little short that week. No, I didn't. I think that was the week I did like 160 something. It was a crazy amount. What date was that? That would have been, oh geez.
That would have been 31. So we would have recorded on the 3rd. We recorded on the 3rd last time. So
but you did record on the 3rd last time. Oh yeah, would you look at that? 166. Yeah, okay. So that's that. I blew that one out.
Jesus,
I walked a lot. It was great.
No, that's the Jesus is the incubators, not the walking.
Well, details. That's fine.
I'm never saying that towards the walking. You know something.
I try not to.
I'm going to bring it up here.
Okay.
I had lunch with my sister and my dad for my dad's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Kyle's dad.
And we were talking about something in Pokemon Go that I'll get to in just a little bit. And the topic of spending money came up in Pokemon Go. And I was like, you guys don't want to know how much money I've spent on Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And my dad was just like, you're probably right. I don't want to know.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know, man. I've eased up a bit. I think this is the first month I've spent 166 eggs. That's cool. It's all chill. And then the next day, Sunday, was Tyrogue hatch day, and I wanted to hatch 5 shiny Tyrogue. I did hatch 5 shiny Tyrogue. And then I had another goal of 5 shinies otherwise. I only got 2 other shinies, unfortunately, because after all that walking and hatching, and then the next day more hatching, I was a little bit burnt out. So I kind of took it easy. But that's okay. Kind of mixed results here. I think I'm 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah. So not a great score on its face, but honestly, a lot of Pokemon Go was played, so that's a success in and of itself. Well, let's take a look at your goals, Kyle. Let's shift the spotlight over to you, sir. Did you catch? It says here Paladin Tauros.
Paladin Tauros, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, what about Paldean Tauros?
No.
Dang, neither of them, huh?
No. So I got 2 things. 1, I didn't take any remote raids for it because I wasn't going to do any remote raids. And 2,
for a 3-star in this economy,
the event had, I believe, 3.5 days left when we recorded that episode. I went out on 2 separate days. One of them happened to be Audino raid day. So right after Audino raid day, no raids hatched.
Yeah,
anywhere. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was it was actually a problem. This is not just complaining about it. No raids anywhere. So I gave up. I was like, whatever. Okay. I went out the Tuesday, I think before the event turned over. I think it was on Tuesday. I couldn't find a Tauros.
My gosh.
My like within like a 25-minute drive of my house, I couldn't find one. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This not my fault this time. Sorry. I felt bad because I'm like, man.
Should have taken the remote if you saw them come in. Just one.
Oh, no.
But it's literally a regional from somewhere else. Like, you can't even get it. That's why we have remote raids.
But it's not a regional because I don't care about the alternate forms. And we have Tauros, so it's not even a dex entry.
Okay. All right.
So I wasn't going to spend $1.50 on a Tauros.
Sure.
I did spend $1.50 on a Blacephalon that someone sent me. It was not shiny. So
I feel like that's different. It could have been shiny. It's an Ultra Beast. That's very different. Okay, so that's a no on, I think, the easiest goal that you had in this list. 350,000 experience. Did you get that done?
I did that within the time frame of our last recording. I've gotten like 1 million since then. roughly.
Playing, or you just hit like 6 best friends or whatever?
I hit 3 best friends, so that did happen,
that's
including finally becoming best friends with Zoe. So
oh wow,
this time it
Wow.
was her. I was waiting on her for like 5 days.
that means that you can then sit on being lucky status with her until like the next year rolls around, and then
Yeah.
forget to do a trade at an event like I do for the past
Yeah.
2 years. Jeez. I wonder if she's gonna make it out to GoFest, because she's really pregnant right now.
Oh yeah.
And then with the baby and stuff, I wonder. She's such a trooper. She was killing it at tour, man. I tell you what, she's just that the infinite well of energy is always just so impressive.
She's going to need it.
She's a professional, and that's a transferable skill. That endless social energy. Okay, so 350,000 star. I keep wanting to say Stardust experience is done. That's great. Special research progress. How vague?
I don't even remember where I was last week. I'm gonna
You were
say
here.
no because I didn't get to do the 5 raids that I wanted to do, which was one of the ones I specifically wanted to do.
Yeah.
I did 4 of them. I did 4 raids.
Get it.
I did 4 raids in the last
If you
week.
had taken that
And-
remote Tauros,
You're right, but instead I took a remote Blacephalon, which is why I was at 4.
you could have done both. That would have been fine.
I actually don't think I could have. I'm out of coins right now, and I'm not giving them any money. Not
Okay.
happening.
All right.
Something like I'll give them some money for Global Go Tour, probably.
Go fast.
Yeah, sorry, Global Go Fest. I'll
Yes.
give them some money, probably. It's gonna depend how
Well-
I feel.
What do you think you'll spend it on? Incubators?
No, probably raid passes.
Ugh, how boring.
Probably raid passes. I already did the 400
Thanks.
raids in one event. 400 eggs in one event. I also did 300 raids in one event too, and I probably preferred the raids.
Weren't those wasn't that at both at the same event?
No, I'm the eggs was at Seattle.
Yeah,
The
I know.
raids was last year for Necrozma.
Necrozma. Yeah.
The 245 Necrozma
Oh my
raids.
God.
Just Necrozma. That doesn't count any of the other Ultra Beasts that I did. It was. I don't know if I'll do that again, but
What was
I don't
what
have the
was
money to do that again.
What was the one pseudo legendary that you put so much into? Axew. That was
Global
the one.
in 2021. What? Wait. Were we
Ground
in
Zero for
Indianapolis in 2021?
disappointment.
Might have been 2022.
22.
Yeah, it was 22.
Because 21 we
Yeah.
did Indianapolis, and then 22 we did.
We were in Chicago.
We did Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah, that was. I did 110 Axew raids.
and not a shiny, right? Not a single.
That was shiny.
I can't.
That
yeah,
one
dude,
at least,
that's
though,
robbery.
Those were 99-cent remote raids, so it doesn't feel as bad, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. The problem comes when you start listing out these numbers, these numerical things that represent
talk about
money. Yeah, it's so much easier just to hit the button and not think about it. Honestly, not that we condone that. It's just that we do that. And then lastly, 2 Mega Audino.
This whole conversation, I did do 2 Mega Audinos.
Okay.
Both of them were remote raid invites. I don't know who invited me, but I did them.
Okay.
But all this was coins I already had, so I hadn't spent any money. Well, I
So
spent
you-
this money like a couple months ago.
So you took the remotes for the Audino, but not for the Tauros.
Yeah, because Mega Audino is new. Like it's a dex entry.
Yeah,
A Mega dex entry.
I suppose
but-
that's true. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't
Like
know.
somebody can trade me a Paldea and Tauros. You can't trade me a Mega Audino.
That's
Like you can't.
true.
Like I can't get the ball rolling for free on a
yeah.
Mega Audino without doing the raids.
Yeah, but you only just need to do one, and then you can walk that sucker, and you're good.
Yeah, but I don't remember if I got enough from one raid to do
Yeah. I think it was only 200 energy. So if you were like in one of those groups with like a fast clear of like 14 people or something like that.
Yeah, I probably could have done it with just one raid, but I set the goal for 2, so it was my problem.
That's fair. I'm just saying the Paldean Toro skull looking awfully sad over there.
It is a sad goal. I'm blaming Niantic for not spawning enough of the 3-star raids. I was willing to raid them. They just weren't around me.
You should have sacrificed more time, whatever sort of personal
I couldn't
thing.
It was 3 days and I worked on 2 of them. I went out the other 2 days.
Okay, well, surely these upcoming events, you have some good mojo coming up for you though, because you did
current one. No, next one I'm ready.
Yes, no, but I'm saying luck is going to be on your side because you did sacrifice something at the altar of Pokemon Go recently, and you should tell us about that.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier I had a story I was telling at my sister's house. I mentioned a few weeks ago. Might be a couple months ago now. My nephew really likes Pokemon Go. He's not huge on Pokemon yet. He's a little bit too young, maybe, but it also just might not be his thing. He's 5 now, and I feel like at 5, I had like a Nintendo 64, and I was like getting started on that, and he's not there. But so he likes to catch Pokemon, and he's always like, "Why aren't there any Pokemon here?" And it's hard to explain to a kid that you gotta move to get the Pokemon, especially when it's freezing cold outside.
Yeah. So
I've been like, every time I sit down and he wants to play, I go through like my stack and my field research. And usually I'm watching him like, he's trying to learn how to do the curve throw and stuff like that. He does okay for a 5-year-old. And then I got distracted by my niece. And I looked back at my phone and he is throwing a Master Ball at a Ducklet. And I literally go, no!
Oh, man.
And so the pain that so many people also know, I now know. It hurt. I'm not mad, but it hurt.
You're not mad?
I'm not mad. Like, what am I going to be mad about? He's 5. Like,
it's my fault.
It's my fault. So, I can't be that mad.
I would be so mad at myself. I was like, I should have known. I should have known better. Oh my gosh. And then so Kyle told me this, and my thought was like, they should really pin protect. You should be able to put up a pin protect for like Master Balls and stuff. I know that sounds crazy, but the situation that Kyle just described happens a lot. Like, people give their phones to their children to play Pokemon Go all the time.
I've seen so many pictures on Reddit and stuff about it happening. So yeah.
Like, I got another Oddish finally in this Master Ball. This is great. And it's like terrible IVs and you have to transfer it.
But you know what?
Bad.
I mean, it's not getting transferred. It's I'm a powered up.
You should nickname it something cheeky.
I will, but okay. It's gonna get powered up. It's gonna go to level 50 at some point. So, yeah.
And then you're gonna trade it to your nephew when he gets his own Pokemon Go account. And then that trade screen, you're gonna see that Master Ball, and you're gonna feel the pain all over again.
If Pokemon Go is still here in 5 years when he's old enough to actually understand properly.
Yeah, that'd be a good story. Okay, well, that's all great, but we've got a lot of news to hop into, so we're already kind of dawdling, which is fine. We did miss a week; we got to catch up, but let's hop into the news. Yo, what up? It's the news. Okie dokie. So this event that we're going to talk about here first is actually already happening. It started on Wednesday, April 16th, so yesterday. It is the Pokemon Horizons, the series celebration event. Like I said, it started on Wednesday, April 16th, and it will run through Tuesday, April 22nd at 8 p.m. local time. So this episode should come out with a couple of days left for you to enjoy that event, depending on where you are in the world. The debuts for this event are the Tinkaton line. So that includes Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, and Tinkaton. In addition, there was a fun little added costumed Pokemon, a Floragato wearing a hat with Lico's pin. And it could be shiny. I saw a lot of people sharing their shinies online and stuff.
Nice.
It's cute. It's very cute.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's a nice touch. Now, let's talk about the most important part of this event. Eggs, 7-kilometer eggs. That pool got shook up. If you are incubating 7-kilometer eggs that you received during this event window, they could be one of 4 Pokemon: the Elekid, Hatenna, Charcadet, or Tinkatink. This is how you get Tinkatink during this event. You have to hatch them via 7-kilometer eggs. We've had a lot of events recently where the new debut has come out in the wild, and we will have another one coming up technically in the wild. So this is a break from that, and people will be upset, but at least it's a very clear pool. There's only 4 Pokemon, and they all share the same hatching rarity, I believe is what you were saying before, Kyle, right?
Yeah.
So if they're gonna put it in eggs exclusively, I think this is the least egregious way to do it. It's not bad. Plus, you can always get 7Ks because they come from gifts, so as long as you...
I think we've had a fine cadence of releases.
Yeah. This doesn't feel bad to me like it has in the past with some other ones where it's very clear that they're just trying to get money out of us. This is fine. Let's talk about the event bonus. Team Go rocket balloons will appear more frequently, which is good because for the timed research for this event, you have to defeat like several Team Go rocket members. I think it's like 2 at each stage or something like that, and there's 4 steps. And then throughout the event, there's half egg hatch distance when eggs are placed into incubators during the event, which is spectacular because we just got done having half egg hatch distance the entirety of last week and some change. So more eggs, raise the roof. We love it. Christopher's everywhere. Rejoice. Increased chance to encounter shiny Pikachu wearing Cap's hat and shiny Floragato wearing a hat with Lico's pin. Yes, Pikachu wearing wearing Cap's hat, not a Cap's hat, Cap, the character, Cap's hat, is back and in the wild, which is great. There's surprise encounters via Photobomb if you do that. I did one today. And then the wild. Oh, did you? It's cute. I like it. Wild encounters for the event include Quagsire, Shuckle, Slugma, Nosepass, Snowrunt, Sprigatito, Floragato wearing a hat with Lico's pin, Fuecoco, Quaxley, Palmy, and Pikachu wearing Cap's hat. I think Pikachu wearing Cap's hat might be one of my favorite costumed Pikachus. It's really good. I really like Cap from the anime. Good attitude, great energy from that Pikachu. And speaking of Cap, Pikachu wearing Cap's hat will know the charged attack Volt Tackle, which is, of course, an homage to the Volt Tacklers from the anime. In trainer battles, Volt Tackle is 90 power and decreases defense by 1 stage. And in gyms and raids, it just has 90 power, which is rather good. That's great. There's a small shakeup to raids happening that you probably have already observed. In 1-star raids features of these 3, Pikachu wearing Cap's hat, Chansey, and Rockruff. And then 3-star raids has 4 Pokemon it could be: Charizard, Alolan Muck, Metagross, and Floragato wearing a hat with Lico's pin. So there's many ways to get a good IV Floragato costumed while they are here. There's also going to be field research that gives you encounters with Pikachu wearing Cap's hat and Stardust. There's timed research, which I already talked about. It's got some encounters in there. It gave me one of each of the starters, I think, and I think there's a Cap's hat Pikachu in there as well. I haven't finished the last step. I've got a couple days to do it yet, so I hope to finish that. I didn't realize that there was timed research until like a day after the event started, which is today. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, probably should do that.
Whoopsies. And then there's a paid timed research for $4.99. Gives you 1 incubator, an event-themed avatar pose, and encounters with Tinkatink and more. The event-themed avatar pose is you swinging around Tinkaton's hammer. It's actually pretty slick. Like very verbose for an avatar pose. It's huge. The hammer is stinking gantic.
That's a good pose.
It is. Now, is it good enough for $5? Is a different conversation that I don't think I kind of want to have right now. But
well, I mean, whatever you want to say, every pose is $5.
Yeah, I'm just, I think it's more worthy than some.
Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, the argument is that if you want a pose, you have to spend $5. There's no exception. Well,
Yeah.
you can get it for coins instead of $5, which is technically free if you farm it, but the point stands.
Yeah, exactly right. But that wraps up the celebration event. There's also a ticket box in the web store, but that's great. So that rounds out the event. The series Pokemon Horizons, the series celebration event. Kyle, thoughts, feelings, pros, cons.
I mean, Tinkaton is great.
Yeah,
it's in 7K eggs, so I will do my best to try and get one. The hats or whatever doesn't do anything for me. I haven't watched the new series. I haven't watched the Pokemon anime in 20 years. So I don't know if I'm going to start now. But
you start tomorrow.
Yeah. No. My thing that has taken all of my time is I'm reading One Piece now.
I'm sorry. I'll see you in 15 years.
Hey, I'm on chapter 110 out of 1190 something.
Dude, I read that
I'm not watching it though. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I read that when it came out in Shonen Jump, and then I stopped when I stopped subscribing to Shonen Jump back in the day.
So like what, 2004?
Yeah, something like that.
So watch like the first season or read like the first season.
Yeah.
Anyways,
more or
yeah.
less.
So
yeah.
The event's fine. The Pokemon is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that it's all equal odds in the eggs.
Yep, and Charcadet, which is a new shiny, is in there too. So that's also kind of nice to get some rolls on that.
We don't talk about Charcadet being shiny.
I'm just saying. I'm looking for positives here.
I'll be speaking differently if the 17K I have hatching right now or like going right now is shiny, but
that'd be crazy. Cool. All right, thumbs up for this event, more or less. Let's talk about the next one here. Dynamax Entei Max Battle Weekend. This is going to be Saturday, April 26th at 6 a.m., and this will run until the end of Sunday. And by end, I mean 9 p.m. local time. Event bonuses will be Max Particle Collection Limit increased to 1,600. Corridor adventuring distance to receive Max Particles. Power Spots will refresh more frequently. 8 times Max Particles from Power Spots. 3/4 Max Particle cost for unlocking and powering up Max moves. That will be active the entire week, starting on April 21st, and that will run until the end of the event. So if you are trying to, max out something that you got Dynamax wise, this is a good event to play. You can pretty much do like 2 weeks worth of work of maxing something out in like a day, if you are willing to walk a little bit.
This feature right here, this bonus, I should say.
Yeah.
Excellent. This needs to be featured going forward because this is a solution to one of the first problems that we brought up back in October.
Yeah.
In that if somebody wants to partake, they needed to have been planning 10 days in advance.
Yes.
Or already working on it 10 days in advance, I should say.
Yes.
So hopefully that's an awesome change.
Yeah, so hopefully these trainers have identified 1 or 2 Pokemon that they want to work on and put some effort into, and then you go out, and then it's just Resource City for a little bit for you to do that, which is great. Timed research, there will be free timed research opportunity there will be a free timed research opportunity available, not 2 available trainers. You might be available as a trainer, but the opportunity itself will be available to trainers starting Monday, April 21st at 6 a.m. local time. Complete said timed research to encounter a Dynamax Sobble to round out your battle team when you take on Dynamax Entei. Timed research tasks will also award Sobble Candy, Max Particles, and more to help power up your battle team. So it's cool they matched the super effective against the boss. So there's that. I mean, honestly, I'm going to weigh in on this first. I normally throw it to you, Kyle, but wake me up when it's Suicune Max Battle Weekend and not a Max Battle Weekend prior.
It's coming.
It is coming. But these bonuses are a little too hard to leave on the table. Even if I'm not too thrilled about Entei, I might just go out and power some stuff up.
Yeah, it's a nice bonuses. They're nice bonuses for the event.
and
I'm
literally
not
all
too
weekend.
interested, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yep.
For sure.
Cool. Yeah, I think the biggest call out is that 3/4 max particle cost for unlocking the moves. That is brilliant. So again, like you said, I want to echo that. I hope that we see that going forward, because that it could be a make or break thing. Let's talk about probably the most exciting thing we're going to talk about today, besides Tinkaton's debut. This is another event that also features a debut of a very, very popular Pokemon. The Sweet Discoveries event. This will be starting Thursday, April 24th, and will run through Tuesday, April 29th at 8 p.m. local time. Event bonuses will include 2 times candy for catching, increased chance to encounter Shiny Delibird and Shiny Squovit, increased chance to hatch Shiny Delibird, Shiny Cherubi, and Shiny Squovit. Catching Delibird or Squovit will award berries. Increased chance for apples to appear at Mossy Lure modules. What are apples, you ask? We'll get there in a second. And half egg hatch distance for first 3 eggs hatched using the Pokemon Go egg hatching widget, which I'm proud to say I still use.
I have it on the third page of my phone.
Just buried, yeah. Blow the dust off of it from the last event that you got something for using it a few times. But debuts for this event. Everybody, stop talking. Quiet back there. This is important. Pay attention. Debuts. Applin, Flapple, and Appleton. They're going to do it, man. They're going to do it. So what are apples, you had asked? Well, here's a really short, brief explanation. Beginning during the Sweet Discoveries event, you may discover apples in the wild if you're very lucky. Tapping on them will award sweet apples, tart apples, or encounters with Pokemon, including Applin, if you're lucky. Apples will also have an increased chance of appearing at Mossy Lure modules. Cool. So if you're looking for an Applin and then how to evolve it later, which Kyle had found out, what were the rules for evolving it again?
It's on the Go Live page, but it's 200 candy and then 20 of one of the apples. So tart is for Flapple and sweet is for Appleton.
Yeah, so you will not only have to get the candy and the Applin to evolve, but also 20 of these specific types of apples that you would need for the 2 different kinds. Yep. And just for the record, because I asked Kyle this, Diplin and Hydrapple are not included. So we will probably see them in the future. Kind of a weird Pokemon family tree to get sorted out. So it's kind of good that we're starting with just these 3. Yeah. Wild encounters for the event. Let's take a look at this. It's quite the list here. Alolan Rattata, Abra, Bellsprout, Delibird, Gulpin, Bidoof, Munna, Bonsweet, Squovit, Snorlax, Shuckle, Kamala, and Applin via apples. In 7-kilometer eggs, they're doing another 7-kilometer egg shakeup. Delibird, Cherubi, Munchlax, and Squovit. So unless you're hunting for those shinies, I guess you can kind of just let that go. It's not super...
not a great pool.
It's fine. Field research, you'll get encounters with event themed Pokemon and Stardust. There's gonna be free timed research that will get you 1 Mossy Lure module, 1 tart apple, 1 sweet apple, and encounters with event themed Pokemon. I'm willing to bet an Applin is in there. I would hope so. But if not, you could always get the paid timed research for $199, which gives you 2 Mossy Lure modules and encounters with event-themed Pokemon, but they specifically list Delibird, Squovit, Applin, and more. So by the nature of it being listed specifically for the paid timed research, I'm going to change my bet. I am now willing to bet it is not in the free research as an encounter.
Bet you the free research has like a Bonsweet and a Munna. And a Bellsprout.
And because Rattata.
Because like the paid one specifically calls out the featured Pokemon. So
yeah, it does. There's also new avatar items: an Applin headband and an Applin apron. And there's showcases and a web store bundle. But the avatar items, I am not enthused.
Yeah, they're not good. I don't like them.
No,
personally.
Plus, they put it. The picture they used was like a real like plus size trainer, and part of the textures are stretched a little bit, which is fine. I think that's wonderful that they have clothes items that stretch and shrink to fit the character model sizes, which we talked about objectively good to have the varied ones and stuff. But when you're trying to showcase it, I'm not so sure. I don't feel like you get a good sense of the item. You know what I mean? It would be almost better to have like just the renders of only the items when they show up as they appear in the store.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think just like the apron in particular just looks like they put a PNG on a white background. Very, very low effort. When we've gotten some like pretty good avatar items lately. So
yeah, the headband is fine, but that apron is not doing it for me.
Okay, I would have rather seen like, I don't know, a Appleton hat where your head looks like Appleton back, like an apple pie or something. I don't know.
Oh, an Appleton backpack.
Appleton hat and a Flapple backpack.
Oh, with the wings?
Yeah, with the wings. That
Okay.
would have been compelled.
What about a headband that has the two eyes of the Applin eyes coming out of the top of your head?
Oh, that's good. See, I like that
good.
too. That would have been a good one.
A winner, that's for sure. But hey, that's it for the Sweet Discoveries event. Thoughts, feelings? Where are we at, Kyle?
Okay, so we talked about this briefly. I have some strong feelings now that I've actually read all of the details and taken it in.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So first off, I want to start by saying Appleton might be one of my favorite Pokemon, period. It's probably top 10, one of the only Pokemon that I think is in my favorites that's not a ghost, because it's just that good.
Yep.
I don't like how this is being introduced here.
Really?
I think the concept is awesome. It's clever. It is a unique way to introduce a Pokemon in Go. It doesn't really... I guess it's an interesting way to do the Pokemon because it has a unique item. So, like, that's cool. The wording here bothers me, and I don't like it. Because I'm maybe you didn't pay attention. These are... I was worried about what would happen after this event started. Or was over. Right here. Beginning during this event, you may discover apples if you're very lucky.
Yeah.
This event doesn't even feature apples frequently, except at Mossy Lures.
I have a feeling that it is going to be an increased rate for the event, though. I just don't think you're going to be tripping over them like you were the Pokeballs for the April 1st event.
I don't think so. They specifically said they would specifically call out you have an increased chance for apples appearing everywhere. There'd be no reason to call out Mossy Lures.
Sometimes they've done this, though. They haven't said it explicitly, and they have just had increased rates of things.
But this line specifically says, beginning during this event, you may discover apples if you're very lucky.
I know. I know.
That's I don't like that.
Yeah.
Especially with how many apples and candies you need. The fact that the timed research gives you one of each apple is almost a joke.
Yeah.
So I'm real worried.
I think that it will be fine during the event. I think that they're just saying that to set the expectation for what happens outside of this event. And during the event, with the introduction, we'll see more.
We'll revisit this on the 29th.
Okay. Deal.
We'll revisit this on the 29th. I hope that I'm wrong. I'm fairly confident that I'm right. But I would gladly be wrong. Trust me, I would.
Okay.
Also, I hate lures in this game. Like, as an addition to something, putting lures down during a Go Fest, Go Tour, Community Day, cool. Like it. Enhances the experience. As a focus of anything, it's a negative. It only detracts. It does not enhance.
Okay.
Because I want Appleton. I want Applin. I don't want to put down Mossy Lures that I have to spend money for to have a chance of sitting still in one spot to find one. Lures are the antithesis of this game, and we've talked about this before. And if you want to lure up like 10 stops, like in your local area, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to use those lures. And that's why I have this love-hate relationship with lures, especially special lures.
What they want you to do is use it in an area where you're walking with, like, it's small. You're not like out walking around a city, or if you're like sitting at a Starbucks and you put it on the sponsored stop and you're going to sit there for a while.
Yeah, but you and I have both sat on one Pokestop with one lure, and we know how not great an experience it is.
Yeah.
You need like 3 lures within distance to make it make sense to stay in one spot and get anything from it.
Definitely. But they're giving everybody these mossy lures. So I imagine during this event, you'll probably see a lot of them. So you might be able to just benefit from other people's lures.
You get one. You get one plus the ones that you pay for it.
Everybody gets one. Yeah.
Everybody gets one. Hang on. Now I got to go. Now that I've ranted, I will go see how many mossy lures I actually have just sitting in my inventory if I've ever used them.
I'm pretty sure I have.
I have
several.
I have 6.
You
So
have 6?
those 6 will probably get used, all of them during this event.
17.
Holy! I mean, that's not that surprising. They kind of toss them in as extras from random stuff.
I have 26 rainy and glacials, 27 magnetics, and 31 regular lure modules, which is surprising because I use regular lure modules kind of like on the reg. And
anyone ever wants to know how much Chris is spending on this game?
I don't know how I end up with these though.
But they're like ups and extras from boxes and field research and stuff like that.
I generally, if from paid research, yes, like tickets and stuff. But I generally avoid, like, if I buy a box, like I almost exclusively go out of my way to buy boxes that don't have this ancillary junk in it that I don't need.
Yeah, but this is definitely very common in any paid research that you've done. I've got 20 regular lure modules, 7 glacial, 6 mossy, 6 magnetic, and 3 rainy.
So you still have a good amount.
I almost never use them.
Oh, well.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, okay. I'm excited for this event. I think I'm most excited about having a new Pokemon that I can just put a lot of rare candy into and not think twice about it. That'll be good. The first one I get, 400 rare candy, easy.
Don't do that, first off.
Why?
Because who knows how many apples you're going to have to click on before you can even evolve one.
Yeah, but then
you may find more Applin than you get the
I hope I do, because then I'll have a good one, hopefully. And then I will have the candies already to be safe for evolution and powering up.
We'll see. The split between sweet, tart, and then also Applin is going to be a delicate balance. Oh, especially with the fact that the apples look like they're going to be rare. What?
So I hate to make it sound worse for you, but you were a stickler about the first sentence of the apple thing. Let me point your attention to the second sentence.
I did notice. That's why I was calling out the balance. Yeah.
It says sweet, tart, or encounters with Pokemon, including Applin, which means it could be not Applin.
Could you imagine if it's not Applin?
Squovit or something. It's like, oh,
if it is, look, okay. If it's not Applin, I'm coming on here and I am rioting. I will talk about nothing except what makes me upset about Pokemon Go for the entire next episode. No anything else.
Okay.
If I click on one of those things and it's not Applin.
It's going to happen. It's saying it right here. It's promising you in letter.
I'm going to be so mad. Oh my God.
Be mad now. We have it confirmed. You don't have to wait. It's fine.
I'm giving it the best. Look, I told you I'm confident with how I feel, but I would like to be proven wrong.
Okay, man.
So I'm going to talk about this on the Discord people or something. I don't know. I'm so upset because I love this Pokemon so much, and I don't. I love this idea of the implementation. I just hate the way it's being implemented.
You're like if we had to design a meme for this moment, it's that scene from Spider-Man, and the subway is like my distaste and hatred for Pokemon Go mechanics, and Spider-Man holding it back is my love for Applin. Like,
yeah, that's this event. If this was any other Pokemon, I would just hammer endlessly, but like it's Applin, so I want it.
Well, no, you got to hammer endlessly for this event. Tinkaton just came out.
Hey,
all right. Let's move on to the last piece of news here, and it's a short one. It is Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day, and this is happening Saturday, May 3rd, the day after Kyle's birthday, y'all. From 2 to 5 p.m. local time. The featured attack is going to be Stomp. It's a charged attack. In trainer battles, it has 55 power, and in gyms and raids, it has 50 power.
Yeah.
I imagine it's going to be good for Kangaskhan. I'm sure it is. It's just hysterical for me to see Stomp as a featured attack.
I mean,
oh my God.
Good in what sense? Because I don't think Kangaskhan has much use in PvP.
Probably not in PvP, but Mega Kangaskhan, maybe?
It's normal.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm trying here, okay?
Look.
Why got to be like this?
I bet you it's not even... I mean, okay, it might actually be on top of the normal charts, but you don't need the normal charts. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's just see, just for the sake of comparison, I want to see if there's anything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's doing a deep dive right here, now.
It's not. Number one is Regigigas.
But does the Kangaskhan on that list have Stomp?
Mega Kangaskhan is Mega Kangaskhan even on this calculator right now?
Is it excluding megas? Is it a Kyle scale?
No, because I usually have to manually type that in. So hang on.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd be dying to know.
Oh, Mega Kangaskhan doesn't even know a normal fast move.
Oh no!
Never mind. It's over.
No,
that's funny. That's why I wasn't showing up, because I searched by matching movesets.
Rock Smash,
low kick, and mud slap.
Low kick, mud slap. Oh my God,
that's funny. Oh my!
Is it a fast move then? Am I wrong?
No, Stomp. It's a charge move.
Oh my God,
got Stomp
dude.
on here right now.
What are we doing? What are we even doing? Oh my God!
So it's collector's sake. Like, yeah.
Anyway, it's whatever. That's fine. Okay. Event bonuses include the raid remote pass limit increased to 20 from Friday at 5 p.m. to Saturday, May 3rd at 8 p.m. PDT. So you can do the 20 each day if you are ready to leverage and then be leveraged by your friends from international places. Receive up to 5 additional pre-raid passes from spinning photo discs at gyms, and increased chance of encountering shiny Kangaskhan from mega raids. There's an event ticket for $5 buckaroos, $4.99 US. And this is the same fare we see in all these events. So I'm going to go through these really quick. 8 additional raid passes for a total of 14. Increased chance to get Rare Candy XL, 50% more XP from raid battles, and 2 times Stardust from raid battles. Again, our guidance on this is always, if you're going to do these raids and you're going to go out and do 30, 40 of these raids or whatever, even 20, or 14 to use all your passes. Just get the ticket. It's then worth it. Timed research. There's going to be a timed research for 10,000 Stardust, 1,000 additional Stardust for completing a raid battle for a total of 2,000 or 3,000 with the event ticket, and more. Cool.
Yeah.
That's it. Very simple. Oh, buy the ticket on the web store. Oh, I forgot to say that. Yeah. I think you get something. You get something. Rare candy, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, that's it. That's the news. Do you have anything to say about the Mega Kangaskhan raid day? I'm just kind of blowing over it, but there's really not a whole lot to say about it.
There's not much to say. It's Mega Kangaskhan. If you need it, you need it.
Yep.
If you don't, it's probably not worth your investment, all things considered.
Yeah.
Grinding, like getting some Rare Candy XL if you plan on buying the event ticket. Sure, it's hard to kind of talk about an event like this when the Pokemon generally has no use except existing, which sounds mean to say, because Mega Kangaskhan in the games is pretty is a pretty cool Pokemon.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But hear me out. We forget. It's been so long. We forget that newer trainers. This is a good opportunity for you to catch this regional.
Yes, absolutely. But like as I say, do it if you need it. But you also don't have to buy the ticket. And if you need the regional, you just have to do a raid. Like you don't have to do 8 of them or anything like that. But, you can do the one.
Yeah, but you can't really solo this either. So you will have to get a group for this, or do a remote.
You can
or
probably do it with 2.
I would imagine
3 would be easy. 2 would be hard. That's without me looking. I'm going to assume
2 max level with powered up proper counters. I imagine would be feasible. Yes, I don't know about. It might be harder than all that. I guess we'll see. I always forget. Because it's been such a long time since I've been in that situation, like of being so short, man.
Just shy of a solo.
Oh, really?
Okay. So Mega Lucario is just shy of a solo in neutral standings. Okay. So if you have like best friend bonus, party bonus, duo is easy with like level 30 counters.
Oh yeah, party bonus. That's right. Miss me with that party bonus, man.
I'd do it if I was like had no choice but the 2-man raids.
Yeah, I would do it too if I also had no choice. Okay, that sounds like a good place to leave Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day, and then therefore also the news. So we're going to take a quick little break, and then we get back. We're going to be talking about some Pokélore, which the featured Pokemon will be one of the new debuts we just discussed. So see you there.
And we're back with Pokélore, and we're doing Tinkaton, the Metalsmith Pokemon, and Tinkatuff and Tinkaton, the Hammer Pokemon.
I was so mad when I was typing
close.
this. I know,
close, but so far.
What we should have done is we should have kept a spreadsheet of this particular thing, of like the category stays the entire time, or it changes, and see how many there are. Because I think there's a lot.
Oh yeah, I bet you on average it changes more than it stays the same.
You think so? I think it's probably pretty close to even.
Okay. All right, let's read about Tinkaton. Tinkaton is a short, pink humanoid Pokemon with a relatively large head and arms compared to the rest of its body, and stumpy, toeless feet. Its arms have 3 fingers each, and it has what appears to be a pyramidal, diamond-shaped steel plate on its torso. Its head has light pink circles on its cheeks, silver eyes, and a mouth with a square, teeth-like growth on the lower lip.
Such as teeth?
Such as teeth. It has thin eyebrows or eyelashes above its eyes. Those are 2 completely different things. What do you mean, or?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Above its eyes that give it a perpetually worried expression. On top of its head is a light pink cap with a white protrusion on top resembling tied hair. Tinkaton carries a crude gray cylindrical hammer with a short handle, which resembles a baby's rattle. It creates its own hammer using iron scraps, remaking it as many times as it wants until it is satisfied. Tinkaton uses the hammer to protect itself. However, the hammer is often stolen and eaten by Pokemon with a metal diet. Tinkaton is a female-only species. Tinkaton resides in various ruins across Paldea.
So does it get a new one?
I think we may find out.
It says, it creates its own hammer using iron scraps. Remake it as many times as it wants. Okay, yeah. Okay, so gotcha.
Tinkatuff carries a light gray, crude yet sturdy hammer with loose metal plates for the hammerhead and what appears to be the old hammerhead Tinkatuff had as a Tinkatink on top of the shaft. Tinkatuff makes its hammer using metal it collects from groups of Pawniard and Bisharp, which it preys on.
Oh.
2 Tinkatuff will smash their hammers together in order to test out the hammer's strength. Tinkatuff lives in homes made from piles of scrap metal. It is a female-only species. Tinkatuff largely resides in various ruins across Paldea. Tinkaton, wields a crude, gigantic metal hammer that weighs over 220 pounds, 100 kilograms, and is larger than its own body. The hammer appears to have been made using the old hammer Tinkaton had as a Tinkatuff for the base, with several scraps of metal colored in varying shades of gray and purple welded onto it. The hammer also has a spiked beige axe-like structure on top. Although the hammer is heavy, Tinkaton can swing it with ease by using its whole body.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Tinkaton is intelligent and has a reckless personality. It swings its hammer at rocks to send them into the sky, aiming to hit flying Corviknight. This Pokemon will also steal anything that it wants and take it back to its dwelling. It has been observed using its hammer like a bed to sleep on.
That's just cute. That's like a race car bed, but way cooler.
That's weird. I'm surprised. I know, Chris, you edited this slightly. There was only one line about Corviknight in this whole thing.
Yep. Yeah. The only part that I removed was the biology part, because it's largely the same Pokemon.
I swear, I think the individual dex entry has like more like direct info about beefing with Corviknight.
It's like
Tinkaton
the whole personality.
beefs with Corviknight, and it's funny. It's so funny because from a game perspective, Tinkaton literally can't damage Corviknight at all.
Yep. But it hates
typing and matchup. It's so funny.
Hates it.
Yeah. And I think Tinkaton's hammer is supposed to be made from Corviknight's, but it says it's made from Tinkatuff's hammer, which is Pawniard and Bisharp. So
yeah.
Oh.
I think it's all of those things. Yeah.
For stats, we have a max CP at level 40 of 2250 and a level 50 of 2544. You're going to find out why this Pokemon has a tragic history in a second.
Yep.
198 stamina, 196 defense, and 155 attack. Oof.
That feels so wrong to me, considering how much they talk about the hammer. The attack should be way higher.
See, the problem is they decided instead of giving it a good base stat, which would then let it be an absolute monster in competitive Pokemon because it has the best typing in the entire game by like a mile.
Yeah.
Is by making the stats of its special move be absolutely insane and giving its base stats terrible. Gigaton Hammer has like one of the highest base powers of any move in the game that doesn't have like scaling, like with a Pokemon's weight or something.
Yeah.
So it's
surely that'll translate well to Pokemon Go.
I can't wait for its signature move. It'll have a community day one day.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
The prime community day candidate. Best move set currently potentially Fairy Wind with Play Rough and Heavy Slam. So this will not be breaking any charts in PvP or PvE. It might have use in PvE. I don't know. PvP, it seems like it might be prime. Yeah, PvP. Sorry. Yeah. It might be primed to do something in Ultra League.
Yeah, I was about to say at 50, 25, 44, I would imagine Ultra League would be a good spot for it.
Let's see if it's already in the database. Oh, it is. Oh my. It is currently speculated number 7 in Great League.
Whoa. Okay.
And number 5 in Ultra League.
Oh my God. It gets better. What about Master League?
Yeah, Master League. Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
That's pretty cool.
God, the rank number 5 in Master League is Florges. That's crazy.
Wow. Okay. I have a bone to pick with this Pokemon's dex entry, I think.
Okay.
So, because we did you read the biology part for Tinkatink, but the descriptions here are just getting so close to like, did we just see a child in the woods and just say it was a Pokemon? You know, it's very much like it's roughly the size of a 6-year-old child, much like a 6-year-old child, and on the ends of its fingers it has 5. The end of its hands it has 5 fingers, similar to humanoid fingers. It has human feet. Blah blah blah. Yeah. It's got protrusions on its head that resemble hair. Like at what point do we just say, oh, maybe this is just a person?
I mean, Machop exists.
Machop, Mr. Mime. The lists go on, man.
Machop literally is just a human child with like weird gills on its chest and fins on its head. It even has like 5 fingers.
And even Machoke, we will give you Machamp. The 2 extra arms is a bridge too far. Okay. But the Machoke is just a professional fighter. Like, he's just a guy I've seen people that look like Machoke in real life. I've seen them. They exist.
Including the snout.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, especially the fins on the head. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
All right.
Okay.
We don't need to talk anymore about the ethicalness of Pokemon that look like humans.
No, certainly not. But cool Pokemon. Very fun. I wish there was more about the Corviknight beef in here too, because it is hysterical. Lots of good memes out there. Yep. But that's it for Pokélore, which means, Mr. Kyle, it's PokéPoll time.
Last episode's PokéPoll was: do you think leveraging FOMO to sell more items, tickets, etc. is acceptable or not? First one from Arkham said, hello, Kyle and Chris. I think it makes good business sense, but it's not very friendly to your player base. I also feel like they leverage FOMO too much in recent years.
Valid.
I think if you want to go years, that's definitely valid. Recently, maybe a little less bad, but that might just be my perspective. So, but it's hard to argue that, like, I feel like 2022 to 2024, there was some
there was some
FOMO going on.
There was some stuff going on there for sure. Not great.
Keldeo. Anyways. Yep. Next one's from Maxitron. He said, hey guys, I don't think it's acceptable, but I also don't know that everything is necessarily leveraging FOMO. I was thinking about PvP Corner's recent interview with Staranka, and a tone point he mentions that a person or team is usually changed and they design most of the things about a season. I don't know how much control they have exactly, but I'm thinking of the Keldeo release. It came during the Season of Heroes, I think, and there was all this theming about the teams and being heroes and all that, and what better mythicals than Keldeo to release during that season? That feels more like a design choice than a FOMO choice. And outside of Unova Tour, I guess the season designers haven't really had another design-worthy moment for Keldeo to come back. I do agree that locking it behind a paid ticket was probably the FOMO aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it and got a 15 attack Keldeo that I do use to this day when the situation calls for it. It has mostly the same utility and stays as Terrakion. And stats as Terrakion. And that's one of the best fighting types you can use. Anyways, my point is I think a balance between design and FOMO can be struck. Upon release, Keldeo had that balance, but now that it's been years and it missed the SS Unova Express, it just feels bad.
Yeah, I think people generally think if you have a large view of this game, it not being part of Unova Tour was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that should have been like, you do Unova Tour, you get the Keldeo.
Yep.
It should have just been there.
Yep. Didn't have to be shiny, but
I guess where do you draw the line at what counts as FOMO in this regard is a great question here, because in the moment, nothing necessarily feels like FOMO unless it very specifically has a, like, here's 3 hours that you can only do this.
Yeah.
Like, is a research being available for 7 days mean that it's FOMO? No. If you don't know when it's coming back out? Like, technically, from a fundamental aspect, they are playing on your fear of missing out from the research disappearing without you doing it because you don't know when it will be back. Now, in every other instance in the game, except Keldeo, it has not been a huge problem. There's been some problems. The return of, like, Mega Rayquaza was way too long.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was almost a egregious example tied to an event as well. But it is an interesting question about where you draw the line if something is FOMO or not.
I think in that case, they've just been pretty good about research. Like, yes, there's some opportunity that you're not getting, but you're not really missing out on anything in the same way that you were missing out on Caldeo if you were not around for that ticketed event, right? Like the fact that you get to have a few more checks during a research day or something like that does not necessarily, I think, meet the criteria for FOMO in this context.
But like, for example, if at the end of this Tinkatink event and Tinkatink is just not in 7KX, it's just gone. Is that FOMO?
No, because you didn't know prior that it wasn't going to be available. They would. So the FOMO aspect of it you have to know that the threat of it not being available later has to be there, and them omitting whether it will or will not be makes that void, unfortunately. Now, we know from an educated perspective that it usually means, or it could mean, that it's not going to be there. But if you're looking at everything by case basis, we can't say that objectively, right?
That's fair. That's a fair stance, I think, to take, and that's why the definition, I think, is so hard to pin down, because
it's a vibes thing, honestly, and it
really is, because
hard.
like, to me, that would count as FOMO.
Yeah,
because play long enough and get burned enough times, and the next time an event happens that has something new, you now have a FOMO feeling, whether they directly say it or not.
Yeah,
they've trained you to behave that way.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff
that's where I think
normalized.
the difficulty is.
100%.
And like, the Caldeo instance has trained people to be like, there's a Pokemon that I have to buy or research for. If I don't buy this, I might never see this Pokemon again.
Yeah.
And so like it's a trained behavior that's not necessarily outlined.
Yeah, they've done a good job of just not saying anything. So I guess that people can make the argument that I made, but I think honestly yours is the more realistic thing. It's like, okay, we've been around this, we've been around this cul-de-sac before. We have played this game for 7 stinking years or whatever.
Yeah.
More than that. And we're wise to your ways, right? So yeah, I guess it is a little vague. But yeah.
All right. We got one more to go. 2 more to go. Sorry. Next one is from Lemirio, and they said, I think I object mostly to the idea of leveraging FOMO specifically. While I know nothing is perfect for everyone, there's a lot of decent middle grounds to explore, ranging from collection challenges or more difficult tasks like scanning a bunch of Pokestops or putting Pokemon in showcases, etc., where tiered rewards could be earned. And similar to the Battle Pass idea, maybe a paid tier could include some extras. I think where it rubs me wrong is that it's clearly set up to reward players who want to get better for whatever reason, and maybe don't feel empowered by their community, access, skills, etc. to do so. It's fine to buy raid passes and stickers or whatever using the deals in the web store, if you are aware that the deal is only relative to what you originally want or would use. I'm a 5-foot-tall lady, and it would not seem like a deal to me if I got 2 XXXL t-shirts every time I bought a lady small, because even though there's value, it's not valuable for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think Go gives me plenty of chances to pay, and honestly, here's a hot tip. Reward me with Elite TMs or reward me with the Lavender Tom music as a subscription, and I'd probably do it. And you could see consistent money, i.e. there's plenty of not cringe and easy ways to get people to spend money consistently and get trivial rewards that they know they uniquely will like.
Yeah, I think they're working towards that, but they're not lessening the FOMO stuff in the other. Actually, I don't know. There have been some events as of late, not super recently, because I think they've been pretty good, but there's been some events as of late that we've been like, okay, yeah, we see you, yeah, sure. That felt a little money grubby, but I think they've been pretty good. We were just talking about this in the news section about how we've had a good cadence of events where like the debut Pokemon has been in the wild. And then in this case, when it wasn't in the wild, it was in a very shallow pool of Pokemon in a one very specific kind of egg that you can target, the easiest egg actually to target. So, FOMO's not going to go away, but I think they're doing better about wielding it. a little bit more conservatively than they have in the past. But I think that's also because they have all these other mechanisms going on that make you spend money, like the reward road and stuff like that,
Yeah, I agree. I don't have much to add here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, this is just valid on its own. It doesn't require a lot of response. But we do have one. We have one more answer. We have a voicemail from Hero Ice. I'll play it here.
Hey, Chris and Kyle, how you doing? It's Hero Ice 18 here. I've just been thinking a lot about Pokemon Go, especially after you guys have kind of tried to step back a bit, and I've kind of been reflecting on why I've stuck with Pokemon Go recently while a lot of other people have been falling off. And I think it's come down to two main things that I've narrowed down. First one is that I use Pokemon Go as kind of a lifestyle app and something to supplement my other love for Pokemon across the franchise. I love being able to catch shinies and transfer them up to home for my shiny living decks. I love being able to add more Pokemon into my games to play online battles, and just kind of a nice sideways app to always have on in the background. And then number two has been really community. Over these past 2 weeks, I've been able to get 2 more people into the ambassador program. They've signed up for it. They've been able to start working through the process, but being able to see them go through the process too and see these smaller towns around me start to get on the train to get more ambassadors and really grow the community has really been happy. And I've even been able to sign up another ambassador for our group specifically, and he's been a great influence. He's been able to help me with GOFest, and he's been able to just be a great influence. So I think a community has a lot of it too, and if you don't have a community around you, I know that it can be really hard to play Pokemon, but if you can work for it, if you can find those people, even if it's just 1 or 2, it makes a difference for the game. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I hope that people who hear it can also find ways to keep playing with Go. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Shiny vibes all.
Yeah, burnout is part and parcel to the FOMO conversation, I think. But first of all, I hope you land that plane that you were clearly flying safely. But yeah, no, honestly, you cannot, you really can't understate how much of a difference. Yeah, 1 or 2 other people you get to play with. If you have 3 people, you can pretty much do everything in the game. If you have 4, you can do everything in the game. There isn't going to be a raid that you can't do if you guys are all maxed. You're going to be able to do all the max battle stuff. I think some of the harder max battle, the level 6 stuff, like Entei, you might need more than that, maybe 8. But now that everybody's kind of gotten it, you can probably do it with 4, I'm sure. So yeah, it really doesn't take much. Community doesn't have to be 500 trainers in a park. It could be you and 3 friends, 4 friends,
especially with party play.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
You could share your items together.
Yeah, you could do that.
Get extra value.
Oops, I just used 20 lucky eggs for no reason on a Tuesday afternoon. Whoops. Oopsies.
No, you each use 1 and you get 90 minutes instead of 30 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
60 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
60 minutes. I love that show. All right. Thank you very much for the voicemail, Hero Eyes. Appreciate it.
All right. So this week's PokéPoll is: what is an avatar item or pose inspired by other Pokemon games you would love to see come to Go? You already have an answer? I already have an answer.
Yeah. You have an answer? I hope it's not the same thing.
I am going to be upset if it's the same, but I'm going to let you go first, and then I will be forced to scramble if it's the same.
Mirror Bee's Afro. I want that in the game so bad.
We're not the same. It's good. It's good. Okay. But I got a better one.
No.
I got a better one.
Lance's jacket?
I want Lance's pose.
Oh, bro.
He throws his arm out and flings his cape to the side.
Yeah.
The pose has to include the cape. Because if Tinkaton's pose can include the hammer, Lance's pose can include the cape.
Yeah, we need more capes.
And that would go so hard.
We need capes, man. We do.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy peasy. If you, dear listener, have an answer to this week's Pokeball question, which is, what is an avatar item or pose inspired by other Pokemon games that you would love to see come to Pokemon Go? You can answer that question. We post it on our X account or on Threads at GOCast Podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, you can reply to this episode with your answer. If you're watching on YouTube, hello YouTube, please subscribe. You can leave a comment, reply there as well. And if you're a patron of ours, you can in the Discord we have for patron exclusive folks, you can put it in the PokéPoll channel when we post a question there as well. And then lastly, you can send us an email to mail@gocastpodcast.com or call to 262-586-7717. And speaking of emails and voicemails, Mr. Kyle, where are we?
It's time for emails.
That's right. And one voicemail. Let's do the voicemail here. This one is from Sarah Amanda.
Hey GoCast, it's Sarah Amanda here.
Hello.
I was thinking about how it's like one of the greatest, but also like most quietest under the radar updates ever has been that little toggle in the Pokedex where you can select a Pokemon that you want to receive alerts about. So that way it'll show up on your nearby. I think when it came out, I just kind of set it and forgot about it. I set it to unknown. And unknown are rare, so I don't think I've actually noticed an unknown yet. But anyway, somebody reminded me about that feature. So I set it to Gossifer, which has been really fun because that way, I mean, I haven't been like aggressively hunting them down, but it's been a little fun that like when I'm walking around and I'm like, okay, which way do I feel like going? Before, I would just have no idea, but now I can check nearby and be like, oh, okay, if I go down this street, I'll find one, versus before. It almost feels a little bit like Monster Hunter now, where like I can walk around my downtown with some agency if I want to, like look for a particular Pokemon. I was wondering, like, have y'all been making use of this feature, or did y'all forget it exists? Did you like set it and forget it? Anyway, that's all. Peace, Sarah Amanda.
It's so funny because Kyle's looking at his phone so intently. I imagine doing this right now.
I completely forgot it existed.
Oh, I did too. I
100% forgot it existed.
No.
I don't. Nothing has come out that's been rare enough since the feature existed that I'm like, I need to track this to make sure I catch a bunch.
Yeah.
Where even is the option? Do you just go to the
probably the individual Pokemon dex entry? I'd imagine
individual dex entry. Oh yeah, like there's okay. Yep. Well. See, here's the problem now because Applin's not going to trigger this thing, so it's not going to do me any good now again.
So true.
So
I got mine set to Ebony Otagoron.
What?
I'm joking.
Who would Ebony Otagoron be?
In Pokemon Go?
No, yeah, in Pokemon Go.
You're trying to think of an equivalent in Pokemon? Well, what would regular Otagoron be?
Oh man, like
Arcanine?
Maybe was Ebony Otagoron is Mightyena then probably.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have the red and purple. It doesn't have like the purple to it, but it's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. Oh, maybe Houndoom.
I think Mightyena's closer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the voicemail, Sarah Amanda. We both forgot about that too. So hopefully this was also useful to other folks listening that are in the same boat.
I will try to remember it when an event has a Pokemon I'm actually interested in chasing after, though. That it will work for. I definitely have to try and remember that.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you like to take this first email, Mr. Kyle? We've got two.
Sure.
Okay.
Our first email is from Danko22, and they said, "Hey, GoCast, Danko22 here. Love your episodes. Recently, you were talking about Galarian Meowth, and Kyle mentioned that he was annoyed that they gave it an entirely new evolution, Berserker, instead of calling it Galarian Persian. I have an AP World History teacher and actually love the historical connection to Berserker. So I thought I would explain the name. Berserker is actually named after the Viking, aka the Norsemen elite warriors, the Berserkers. This is actually where we get the term berserk from. The Berserkers would dress in animal skins before battle and eat the red and white mushrooms made famous by the Mario franchise. These mushrooms are hallucinogenic. I was about to say, aren't they poisonous? Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And the Berserkers would hallucinate that they would take on the animal traits from the animal skin they wore. There are stories of them intimidatingly biting their shields and attacking relentlessly, even after being wounded or losing an appendage. They would attack with a trance-like fury and an uncontrollable rage in battle. This is why Berserker looks so much like a Viking Raider. This is why I love Berserker. Anytime you can tie a historical aspect of the real world region into the Pokemon, I'm on board. Special shout out to Alolan Marowak, my favorite Pokemon, who is modeled after the Ghost Warriors of Hawaii. The lore helps explain the tattoos on his body, as well as his bone catches fire at both ends when he twirls it. Hawaiian fire dancing. I'm not going to attempt to say the Hawaiian name.
Come on. Come on.
No. You want to try it?
No, you got to try it. This is not the fun. I'll try it after you try it.
Is Tuki Kai. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hawaiian fire dancing, a.k.a. Tuki Aune Kai.
Aune Kai. Okay. Sorry for the long email. Thanks for the great podcast. Danko22.
We are both definitely wrong, by the way.
Probably. 100%.
Neither of us got that. There's no way.
It's tough language. It's tough language to read if you don't know what the heck you're doing.
So this is all fascinating. Now, I knew Berserker was a play on Berserker. I think we both knew that. But correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle. I think your specific complaint wasn't that they didn't call it Galarian Persian, was that it wasn't a dramatic of enough change from its first form to be a satisfactory evolution, right?
Yes. I think that like Berserker could just be its own Pokemon, and that would be fine from that perspective. But as an evolution from Galarian Meowth, it feels like you took like a quarter step, not even a half step. It's like a quarter step of a Pokemon. I don't have an issue necessarily with Berserker's design.
Because it's good.
I did know it's alluding to Berserkers. Yeah. I didn't know the full history tidbit about Berserkers and the hallucinogenics, although it makes perfect sense when you hear.
You didn't know
it.
that?
I didn't know about it in that context. No,
okay.
I thought maybe I knew about it like as a child or something.
Somebody hasn't played Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I did not, and you didn't finish it, so
I put so much time into that game. Don't you dare come to me.
And then your game crashed, and you lost your save, and you couldn't keep going.
I didn't lose my save; it got soft locked.
Soft locked. Okay, correct.
And then they updated it and fixed it and go back.
Yeah. So yeah, there's my actual complaint about Berserker. I think thematically it's good. I think execution-wise, it's not very good.
I gotta say, so I knew the Berserker bit, and if I had thought about it, I would have eventually gotten to the Vikings thing, but I hadn't thought about it. And now this is pointed out, the design, it's like ears like bent to the side. It's like little horn things. It definitely look like a Viking helmet. It is wonderful. I think I might love this Pokemon more because of this email.
Am I going crazy though?
Yes.
Where are the tattoos on Alolan Marowak's body?
It's like
am I losing it?
Arms or the head or something like that?
No. Maybe they glow on the model, which is why I don't see it on pictures?
Oh, it's possible, but I there is a mark on its head that regular Marowak does not have.
Oh, sure, like on the skull itself?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can't see his head other than that, so.
Sure? Is that?
I think that's right.
But Danko said tattoos on his body.
They must be somewhere else then. I'm looking at some art from the
and it's got like the bone stuff on its back that looks like bones, which is kind of thematic. But I don't.
Maybe that's probably it then. The back.
Maybe I don't know, but it's reminiscent of Ghost Warriors of Hawaii with obviously the fire spinning.
The back has a ton. Yeah, the bone tattoos are on the back. I just saw a concept art sheet for it. Yeah, definitely on the back.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess I never really thought about those as like tattoos. It's just more
They were
bone theming with its body. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's very valid. All right, well, thank you, Danko22. Appreciate that. Whenever you can write in with more relevant tidbits like that, please do, because Kyle and I are suckers for that stuff. We love it.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
Our next and last email is from Eric, and they said, "Hi, Chris and Kyle. Hello. I just wanted to share what has been the craziest thing I've ever got on my Go Plus. And when I say crazy, I mean better than my Shundo Go Plus Gumi. That's pretty crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Casually flexing. No big deal.
So anyway, I was driving my car back home one evening. I connected my Go Plus and realized that I hadn't used my daily incense. I activated it and minimized the game. Later that evening, when I casually went through my daily catches, a level 33 Galarian Zapdos with CP of 3,038 suddenly appeared on screen. Caught in the Go Plus with a normal Pokeball. How did that even happen? What's your craziest Go Plus catch? Thank you for a great podcast, Eric. That's insane.
Nothing even remotely on that caliber. That's absolutely crazy.
No, and I got to say, I use my Go Plus so frequently that I have a hard time thinking of one or two instances. But I will say I've had on many occasions Go Plus a shiny unknown during tour events and Go Fests. And every time that happens, I'm always like, what the heck? Okay. This is great. But what about you, Kyle? What's been your craziest Go Plus catch or category of catch?
I don't really internalize that kind of information. I'm not gonna lie. Usually
I just yell about it into the group and then I forget about it.
No, usually I don't find out about it until the next day. And by which point it's already like, it's gone. If I don't notice it in the moment, it's gone.
Yeah,
completely.
That's fair. Yeah.
I guess it's not the craziest, but it's very recent, so it's fresh. But Go Plusing a shiny Chansey right after I finished and get the Chansey Community Day research and had already just gotten a shiny Chansey is pretty crazy. Just for what are the odds?
It's just funny. Yeah. It's just comedy. Wonderful. Great. Well, Eric, we'll have to put this email in the pantheon of emails. That's quite lucky. Oh my gosh. But that brings us to the end of the show. If you would like to send us an email or a voicemail like these fine folks did, you can do emails to mail@gocastpodcast.com. You can send voicemails by calling 262-586-7717 or emailing us a voice file. Hero Ice actually just uploaded the voice file in the PokéPoll Discord channel, and I was able to easily pull it from there. So if you're a patron, that's another option. Thanks for doing that. It was very easy. Visit our website for all things GoCast Podcast at GoCastPodcast.com. Follow us on I almost said Twitter again. I always want to say Twitter. I have to say right now, I've been saying X for a while, but it's always going to be Twitter in my heart. It will be.
X sounds bad.
It does sound bad.
Simple. It does. It
sure does.
Sound good.
It's bad. But you can follow us on X and Threads at GoCast Podcast. If you'd like to help support us for as little as $1 a month, you can via Patreon. That's spelled patreon.com/GoCast Podcast, or just Google it. You'll find us. And speaking of Patreon, shout out to our Elite Trainer tier patrons. Kyle, it is your turn this week.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, no. I wasn't doing my vocal warm-ups. Woo!
Shout out Elite Trainers, Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin and Mimi, Sforts, Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Motters, Lee, William, Brandon, Ethan, Stephen, Nick, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, Sarah, Laura, Memorandums, Nabil, Tish, Jacob, Matthew, Don, John Paul, Mika, Sean, Dave, Nessical, and Purple Opal.
Micah.
Oh. Micah. No! I say it wrong every time.
I know.
I think I even corrected myself that time before I said it, too.
It's like your brain is running out of oxygen. You're like, it's tough. It's tough. And it's so fun. This just gets harder with more of these folks that we have, which is great on its own. So again, thank you very much to our Elite Trainer tier patrons for your generosity and helping us keep the digital lights on, among other things. Please leave us a review if you're not able to do monetary support. Reviews still help us a lot. Pretty much anywhere that they are taken, we would love for you to give us a review. Thank you. And then last thing we got to do before we get out of here, Mr. Kyle, let's set some goals. And upcoming events this weekend are the Dynamax Snorlax Max Battle Day, and the Horizons Celebration event is running through Tuesday. And we both want to get our Tinkatinks. So that's definitely on my list here. But what about you? What are your goals for this upcoming week?
Want to get a Tinkatink, at least one, hopefully. 200,000 experience. And continue my special research progress. I'm really hoping I can finish a couple that I have chilling out here. So I got a couple that are really close. A couple that I'll just get to the next step that'll just sit at the next step forever, probably.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Okay. For myself, 100 eggs hatched because it's half egg hatch distance, baby. We love it. Tinkatink, at least one. Dynamax Snorlax, at least one. And any and all tickets / special research. I'm almost done with the free stuff for this week. I haven't started the premium ticketed stuff for the celebrations event. I just picked that up while we were recording because I forgot it existed. But I'll finish that and then hopefully have some time for Dynamax Snorlax as well. So that's that, folks. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week for episode 322. Until then, shiny vibes and all that good stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye.